All right. I started it the last time. I feel like you need to say something.
Are you recording right now?
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not.
Okay. Well, then in that case, welcome to our second episode of My Skeptical Sister. We are sitting at my kitchen table in a very dark house so that you could peer across the street and keep an eye on your own home.
Yep.
Which is, the benefits of living across the street from each other.
That's right. I know. I made my 11-year-old stay up just a little bit later than her normal bedtime. And then I said, don't stay up too late, but listen for your sisters.
Or any intruders, just in case.
Goodbye. Yeah, speaking of which, I'm going to say this because this is creepy. So we have an alarm system. It's never, ever gone off except for when I almost burn our kitchen down once a month.
Well, that's a little regularly. Yeah, so it goes off regularly, but not...
It does, but never in a way where I'm scared. I'm always like, oh, dang it, there's too much smoke.
Right.
Yes. It's always when I'm cooking. It goes off. I have to fan it, and then I get a call. I'm like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just a bad cook. It's fine. But last night at 2:21 in the morning, my alarm went off. Like there was somebody trying to get in our house. And it was just, I was so tired. Like it went into my dream. I remember being really panicked in my dream. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe there's an alarm going off, but I wasn't getting out of bed.
So you didn't put your podcast back in and just keep listening like we talked about last week?
I kind of did with like metaphorical headphones because I did not get up. I like ignored it.
That's so weird.
I know. And Sophie, again, my oldest, ran in and was like,
hello, Mom.
And as soon as she ran in, like as soon as the door opened, I was out of bed. Like I don't even think I sat up. I just like was upright, running through the house. And I turned the alarm off, and then I'm running through my house, like trying to figure out why it was going off. All the locks are still locked, and it's on a sensor, so it doesn't, like it won't sound until you actually open the door. Just like rattling the handle wouldn't work. But all the doors were still locked. So I get back to bed after I've checked out everything very thoroughly. And my husband calls because our alarm system tried to call me and I was running through the house.
Oh, well, that's scary.
I know.
For them.
Right.
Like, it's the real thing. She's not just cooking.
Yeah, exactly. And you'd think it would be scarier for my husband who gets this call, who's almost an hour away.
He's Canadian, so he's like cool as a cucumber.
He called, he goes, you all right? I was like, yeah, well,
like,
sort of.
Cooking again? 2:00 in the morning? You needed a little midnight snack?
He was like, are you okay? I said, well, I'm okay, but this is weird. This is what just happened.
Sure, freaked out.
And he said, yeah, I got a call from the security system. It sounds like somebody was coming in through the side door.
Again, more.
I know. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he said,
oh my gosh.
He said, that's what they said. They said the alarm went off on the side door. And I said, but it was locked. And he said, well, I don't know. Maybe it just malfunctioned. I don't know. I said, well, what did you tell them? And he said, I said, they're probably fine. I'll call them. I was like, well, what? That's why we have an alarm system.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
Don't assume.
She'll just roll over, go back to sleep. It'll be fine. It will be fine.
Oh my gosh, why do we have an alarm system? His response should have been, I don't know. Can I call? Or keep calling her.
Yeah, we've got to get a hold of somebody. Somebody's got to get over there.
Yeah. Somebody needs to keep calling until you talk to my
wife. I need to
wife.
Train him a little bit better. I think it's hilarious, though, how our husbands are so opposite. Like, I feel like my husband would not even let the end of the call go, and he would be in the car. Like, he would probably wreck on the way home, trying to get home. Like, they're just so different in the way that they would handle that situation. That cracks me up.
Yeah, I think I know which way I like better. I think it might be your husband's way.
Well, he's always across the street. And
I know. I should have called.
Just get the alarm system to call here, and he will overreact and panic and come in and save you. He'll be ready with his big old machete. He's got like this.
Oh my gosh.
Well, he's like woodsman.
Suddenly
I pulled him out of the woods and brought him into the city.
Marching through my door. Well, okay, so it's not fully over. So then I'm like finally trying to settle myself down. Like, that was freaky. My adrenaline is running and I'm so tired. All I want to do is go to sleep, but I can't. And he said, well, is the van still there? And I was like,
Oh, like
The
you thought
van?
somebody was going to steal your
Do you want me to
van?
go check on the van? I was like, I feel like I would have heard that.
And he's like wanting you to go out into whatever it is that's trying to
Yeah,
get
he's
in.
like, well, was anybody out there? I'm like, I did not go out there, Kevin. The doors were
Right.
locked. And then this morning, I was like, that was weird last night. He's like, yeah, that was weird. He said, you know what I kept thinking? What if somebody came in the house, locked it really fast, and then hid? I was like,
Oh
you
my
bastard. Why would you say that? I said,
now it's in your
you
mind.
have to know that I also thought that, but I was being
Yeah.
irrational.
Oh man.
And for my rational husband. And then he was still so cool about it. Come home and check on your family.
He just does not show his emotions.
So this is the episode I tell you I'm leaving my husband.
He'll be fine with it. I mean, he might
He'll
be
get
sad,
over it.
but he'll be keep it all
You'll
inside.
never see
You'll
it.
never know.
Oh my gosh.
Canadians, they're just so calm.
Yeah, they're calm.
They're calm, a little too calm.
A little too calm.
Little too calm.
Let's light a fire.
Well, that's exciting. So yeah. So perfect night to then come over here and leave all your kids alone.
Which is why I'm here.
Mother of the year.
I know. I maybe didn't tell Kevin that I was coming over here. So I was like, he really would be like, don't go over there. But I'm watching the house.
Be like, oh, well, they'll call me if there's anything wrong and I'll just underreact. It'll be fine.
Underreact. That's hilarious. Okay. Well, we had so much fun with our first recording.
Yes, we really did. And okay, so after listening to our podcast, there's some observations. Like number one, I cannot stand listening to myself.
Oh.
I mean, I think that's like a normal reaction that most people have. And I'm like, oh my gosh, do I really sound like that in real life? But
you do.
I do. And so do you. So
once
you sound like you, it's like, oh, I must sound like that. And that's just, I'll have to accept that. And then my second observation is it doesn't really matter if anybody else thinks that we're hilarious because we sure think
yes, we do.
that we are funny.
Oh my
gosh, we laugh so much. But that's what this whole thing has been about, is just give us a reason to get together and laugh uncontrollably. And so it did its job. And listen to what we enjoy, which are spooky stories that aren't real, but they're fun to listen to.
They're real.
They're okay.
They're real to our listeners. They're real to me.
And my third observation is that I need to say at the top of this that I do love my children. I went on a little too much about not loving it. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize like strangers would be listening to this who don't know that I'm also, yes, I'm the mom who doesn't really know how old her kids are. By the way, I did a little research. She is exactly 1 year old on February 25th. So you do the math.
Oh my gosh, that's not research. You knew that before.
I know.
She knew that before.
Okay, I did know that before, but I'm still not going to do the math. I'm too lazy to do the math. But anyway, you figure it out. She, again, somewhere around 9-10 months. So anyway, but my whole point is that I do love my children a lot. I am just stuck with them all the time now. There's no, run to the store. One of them typically has to go with me, so it's just, it's a lot. So
yeah, it is a lot.
But I do love them dearly. And so for all those strangers out there, they're like, she really cannot stand her kids. I love them. I just wish I didn't have to be around them all the time.
Yes, I hear that. I do feel like the only people who would be thinking that are people who don't have kids during a pandemic.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I was real judgy before I had kids. So like, young Erin without kids would have been like, oh my gosh,
she's a horrible mom.
She's the worst. She should really appreciate what she's got.
Like now Erin, I'm like, with kids,
they never leave.
Buy that woman bottle of vodka. We get it.
They're always there.
They're always there.
They're always there.
Yeah.
And not even just there. They like want to, I think, smother me.
I'm so tired of answering questions.
I think if they could crawl under my skin, sometimes I think they would. That's not close enough.
That's where they would like to live.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a lot. Again, though, love them. Love them so much. So my funny story this week that I actually tried to start to tell Erin, she's like, save it for the podcast. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have a podcast. We're so cool. Was that a sad thing, but then kind of like a silver lining good thing happened this week. Our little pet lizard met its fate and was smashed. So it wasn't just like it was not
a natural death.
So, which immediately I was the one that found it because I hadn't seen him in a couple of days. And I'm like, that's strange. And he lives in my son's room, who's 4 years old. And he had been doing a really good job of not, here we are telling a story, but this one's kind of scary. This is good. It's a little bit spooky. So, he'd been doing a good job of not touching the lizard. And then I went in after not seeing him for a couple days. I'm like, I wonder where he is. And I picked up his little rock. And I mean, he wasn't just like, oh, he shriveled and got too hot or something.
Which is also horrible.
That would be horrible. But at least it would be like, oh, natural death. This was like,
natural, not caring for your lizard.
Well, okay,
death,
but still not intentional death. So, but instead, his poor little body had been smushed. I mean, like skull smushed.
Oh boy.
And so, of course, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, was this on purpose? Because I had just caught Miles trying to get, that's my son, trying to get into the cage the day before, and he knows he's not supposed to. I'm not right next to him.
Right.
So I thought, that little lovely child got in there and tried to get him. And then when he wouldn't let him catch it, he smashed him. Like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm raising a serial killer. Because they talk about the trifecta of serial killers, right? The yes. one, like, what's the first one?
Head injury.
Head injuries, which I've never injured my child's head. So it wouldn't be my fault. I wouldn't be in that podcast with them blaming the mom.
You haven't, but I've never seen a child. He used to, as a baby, throw temper tantrums where he would
bash his head
in the ground.
The wall. Yeah, ground, the wall, everything, and try not to let him do it. But sometimes,
it's like your frontal lobe, dude.
Right, you're you're preparing yourself to be a serial killer, or like, yeah. So number one, he's had some head injuries, self-inflicted. I would like to go on record.
Yes.
Not by me. So
witnessed. I've seen it.
Yes, witnessed. Thank you. Number two, the second one, harming animals. So I'm like, oh, because he's definitely, he's a curious little guy. He has got lots of energy. He sometimes will be a little too rough with the dog. Of course, we've got a sweet dog, so she doesn't really care. But we're all like, be careful. I've never seen like really try to hurt an animal intentionally. But I thought, what if this is number two? And I can't remember what the third one is.
Bedwetting, I think.
Oh, well, I mean, he's only 4. So, I mean, we'll give that one a couple of years. Actually, he's gone a little, okay. Anyway.
He is actually the sweetest. He's got the sweetest
he's got a great heart. Well, there's the silver lining, because I'm like, oh my gosh. I am kind of a bad mom, because my mind went directly to, he did this intentionally. And how am I going to have this conversation about how to not turn into a serial killer with a 4-year-old? But I'm going to have it because I need to address it and address it now.
Yeah, you say that.
Right. Yeah.
Please don't become a serial killer.
Therapy. What do we got to do? We got to do something. But luckily, best part of my week was I told him and he cried so hard. I was like trying to be very sympathetic. And at the same time, inside, I'm like, yes, thank the Lord. He is not a serial killer. This is the best news ever. But bless his heart, he did cry and cry. And then we had a funeral, which ends up, my husband could say the nicest little prayer for a little dead lizard that I cried. It did evoke tears in me.
Oh my goodness.
So your kids are standing around. He's standing around. The poor little lizard's in like a plastic bag. And of course, James is just the sweetest heart. And he is saying the sweetest prayer for this lizard. And I'm crying. We're all crying. And then Miles says, so now can we dig him up? And I was like, no. Once he's there.
The fear is back.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So it was short-lived, but it's just a matter of days before there's like lizard bones somewhere in my
zombies.
House. Right. A little lizard zombie.
I was taking a big drink of wine right when you said the best part of my week. And then I realized what you were about to say. And I swallowed so quickly so I wouldn't spit it out.
Well, don't waste that wine.
I know, but I was...
I thought you were going to say the best part of your week was that big gulp of wine. I get that too.
Although it's my first.
It wouldn't have been your first. Exactly. It would have been your first gulp of wine this week. So anyway, those are our highlights of our week.
Those are our highlights. Before we get started, I was saying to Megan, I don't think she's going to have any friends after this podcast, because if you're sending those stories, which please keep doing, we don't have enough. We do have enough for one more episode right now. So that's very exciting, but
we still need them to come. Don't let my skepticism scare you off. And if me being skeptical of your ghost story as your friend means that we're no longer friends, then it just wasn't meant to be. That's the only thing I can say to console you.
Just know she's willing to risk your friendship.
I totally am.
But also,
by you sending it in, you're also willing to risk it because, I mean, this is what the podcast is.
Yeah, you know what you're getting into. But just know that all of your all's ghost stories make me want to be your best friend.
Right. Oh, no, I still want to be their friends. And I don't think anybody's crazy. I totally think that they think it happened.
Yes, I do too.
But I don't think
I also think that it happened. Remember when we listened back and we thought, boy, we talk really fast. You just said,
no.
I don't think anybody thinks. It was the fastest I've ever heard you talk ever.
Turns out you can listen to podcasts in slow motion or...
Oh, I do that a lot.
Right. So if they think I'm too fast, slow it down yourself.
Oh, now you're just being aggressive. Sorry.
It's the wine. Okay. I'll slow down on the wine, but not my speech, apparently.
Yes. All right. We're going to jump right into my story now. So this story is from Jessica. Yes, it is another friend of Megan's. They're coming. I actually got a story for next week.
Okay. From one of my friends?
No.
A mutual friend?
No.
Okay.
You've never met them. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. But anyways, this current story right now is from Jessica. First of all, let me preface by saying I'm a Christian and I do believe there's a spiritual warfare going on around us all the time.
Whew, that's heavy.
With that being said, I'm not sure if that happens more in my heart or if there are literally angels and demons fighting over my soul.
In your heart, Jessica.
She's kind of siding with you. She's like already given up on it.
She already is. The skeptic of her own. Yeah.
What form those demons take is a mystery, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah.
When my brother was in his 20s, his now wife saw a ghost after they'd had an argument. My dad explained that when you have anger in your heart, you are more likely to believe you saw something. So
again?
Maybe I'm just an angry person.
That's what it is. You're just angry all the time. So you're seeing like ghosts left and right, and I'm just joyful. No, I'm kidding.
I feel like those could be swapped. So no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. In the summertime of 2001, I went on a college humanities tour to Europe, visiting 11 countries in 30 days. That sounds exhausting. I mean, amazing. Oof. I guess if you're in college.
11 countries in 30 days.
If you're in college, you have the energy for it.
Right now, I'm tired if I just see 11 houses outside of my own.
I read that sentence and I'm ready for a nap.
Right.
I'm so tired. We were in Munich, Germany, staying in what they call a bed and breakfast. I went to a fairly strict Christian college, so our extracurriculars in the evenings were limited. A small group of us were playing cards on the couch in the lobby late one night. That is kind of limited, Jessica. Love you. You're in a different country.
Go out. Yes. Yeah, go have some fun, girl.
Yes. Okay. While we were playing, a large group of American high school students returned from a brewery tour.
They were having fun.
They were in high school and they were doing it right.
They were.
I mean, wrong.
Yes.
No, they weren't wrong because they were in a different
side
country.
Of the battle you're on.
That's true. That's true. They were in a different country though. The legal drinking age is younger.
Yes.
I don't know if it's high school, but it's whatever.
Sure.
Anyways, they made all kinds of noise. Or as they went to their separate ways. I
bet they didn't all go separate ways. Little fun and the.
I don't know if Jessica's going to approve of this.
Oh, sorry, Jessica.
Reading.
I'm sorry. I'll stay on track.
I guess another guest had called to complain about the noise, and by the time the owner and manager came to the lobby, we were the only people there. She screamed bad and carried on in German, sending us to our rooms. I was fired up because we hadn't done anything wrong. Literally, they were playing cards. So no, let them play cards. But I couldn't explain because of the language barrier. I stormed off to my room alone. I was on a different floor than the others. My room was at the end of the hall, past some type of security gate across from the stairs, almost like it had been added on after the fact. I had 3 roommates for the trip, and we take turns sleeping on the cot in each hotel.
They take turns sleeping on a cot in a hotel?
Well, because I guess there's normally 2 beds. In the room.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm like picturing the poor other 2 like on the floor, and only one of them gets the cot. Like, this is what country are we in?
You're like, the reward is the cot.
Right. If you don't sneak out to a brewery, you get the cot.
You get the cot. We'll sleep on the floor.
Okay, yes, that makes sense.
It was my turn to take the cot and not sleep 3 to a bed and a queen. Oh, I could totally sleep through 2, but
Right.
and I'm a bigger girl, but
I'd
I've
like
done
sleep
it.
4 in a queen. I sleep 4 right now in a queen.
Do I have
My
to sleep on a
husband and
cot?
Kids.
Why don't you scoot over? That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm kidding. You're a better person. Clearly, Jessica.
Clearly.
We've already
Didn't even
established
sneak
that.
out. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Irritated, I slipped into the cot while listening to Linkin Park's Crawling, not much of a lullaby, on my Discman. Oh, this is like bringing me back.
Wow, this is old school.
I felt something strange and opened my eyes. I've never closed my eyes so tightly after what I saw. What? I know, right? What, or whoever it was inches from my face. I pulled the blankets up over my face and turned my music up louder and went to sleep.
No, again.
I told you, this is what people do. They see terrifying things, they close their eyes, and the next thing they know, it's morning.
Which
that would
is
not be
why these things don't exist. Because had she turned the light on, she would have seen one of those drunk guys from the brewery. They would have been laying up in her cot, and she would have,
But he was so quiet, it couldn't have been him.
Well, he was passed out. He was
he was like in her face. Oh,
yeah, whatever. That is turn the lights on. Or get up.
You have roommates. At that point, I'd be like, you need to be here with me.
Yes.
In this scared moment.
Or go get in their bed.
Yes, but I do understand the fear of not wanting to get out of your bed.
This is the scary thing is in your bed with you.
If it's what I picture it like, she's laying in her cot down low, and this thing is like looming over her. Not in the bed.
I'm picturing her like getting in bed and like turning like facing the wall.
Oh no!
And it's like laying right next to her.
Oh, that'd be horrible. I hope that's not it.
Bed. Maybe that does make more sense that it's above her, but
yeah, that's really.
I don't know.
This is bringing me to my other ghost story.
Oh, you're the one you've been saving.
Yeah, the other ghost story that I lived.
Oh yeah. That is a good one. Okay, go on.
Okay. All right. So anyways.
Not that this one's not a good one. I'm just saying I know that one. So go ahead. Tell the rest.
Okay. So I pulled the blankets up over my face, turned on my music up even louder, and went to sleep. Of course, no one believed me the next day. You
stayed in bed. I wouldn't have either. I've been like, if something were in your bed, you get up out of it. I'm sorry, Jessica. I don't mean to be so harsh on you, but girl, get up out of bed. Turn the lights on. Check it out.
Absolutely. You could say, I had anger in my heart. I guess I'll never know. So that's her story number 1. This is actually a twofer. She's got a second story.
Okay.
I know,
it's Jessica.
Like a bonus.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me debunk her first one.
Okay, but before you debunk, I want to say that I sent back a message because I was like, well, that's really scary. But also, what did you see? Like, I couldn't picture.
Yeah, that's true, because she just said, I'd never want to see it again. So she clearly saw something.
Yeah, what did you see? So I wrote back, let's see, what did you see when you opened your eyes in the first story? Was it human-like? It's very interesting. So
look at you doing research.
I know, I got to know, what did you see?
You worked.
So her response to this was, it was scary. I just remember a lot of maybe black hair. It was definitely whoa, I can't talk. It definitely had human qualities, but it was so quick. I don't like fast moving anything.
I swear I promised myself I would not go back to it after episode 1, but it's human-like and hairy.
Oh, no, stop it.
What if she had a Sasquatch in bed with her? I'm just saying, she opened the door to it, hairy.
A European Sasquatch.
European.
But he has a little French accent. It's so cute.
Oh, he smoked these long little cigarettes. And he'd be like, girl, why don't you want to go and have fun?
They are in Germany, but I don't do that accent as well. Anyway, she says it was quick. And her email says, I don't know how I went to sleep, but I did somehow. I guilted someone else to sleep in the cot the following night. Good call. And she threw in, also fellow Twilight lover.
Oh,
yes.
That also then just solidifies it. It was in her mind.
That's right. No. That's not what I meant. I thought you were saying that she's a cool person.
No, that's not the avenue I was going down. Although I do love Jessica. She is a very cool person. I did not know about her secret love of Twilight, but I will try not to judge. I'll hold that outside of my debunking.
I'll use that to love her more.
Okay, well, you go for it, believer, in Twilight. So
I don't believe in Twilight. I just love Twilight.
Okay. So my whole thing about that is that it was like, is it Inception? What is it when they plant something in your mind?
Yeah, Inception.
Oh, okay. Yeah, look at me using big words that I don't know what they fully mean. So Inception, like she had heard that if you're angry,
Yeah.
you might see something, or you might be more open to seeing something. No, I think, honestly, I think that's my theory. I think that her young mind was like, okay, if I get angry enough, I might see something. And I think in that moment, because to me, I'm like, that's like, I don't know if that's angry enough to open the gates of hell and see a demon. But no, I don't know how mean the German woman was that could make her equally as mean. I think I would just like go, like, I would be scared more than I would be angry.
Yeah. I just feel like when I'm really in the moment of anger, I wouldn't be thinking, I wonder if now is when I'm going to get to see a demon.
No. And now I'm like, if that demon gets in my way, he better duck because I'm about to throw something. Again, that mean mom. Because when I get angry, I'm like, everybody get out of my way.
Okay, well, we've got a second little bonus story here.
Okay.
So story number 2, and it involves your favorite place.
Oh, Dark Star?
Oh,
it closed down.
No.
My favorite place.
Irish.
Oh, the Irish Rover.
Oh, sorry, I ruined it.
You know what? I got several people who told me that the Irish Rover has lots of haunted stories.
Look at you bragging about having all those friends again. Okay.
I mean, they didn't write me though, but they do. They're like, oh yeah, they've worked there. And they're like, the Irish Rover.
All right.
Somebody tell me the story about it. So here we go.
Jessica, listen to you.
All right, Jessica, let's hear it.
So story number 2, after graduating from college with a degree, I moved home from Tennessee to wait tables. My first serving job was at the Irish Rover, which is a local, great little restaurant here in Louisville.
Yes, if you're from Louisville, please go there. Maybe they'll sponsor us.
And if you're, oh my gosh.
Fish and chips. I don't need money. Just give me the fish and chips.
And if you're not from there and you come to Louisville,
yes,
go there.
Yes, definitely go there. Great restaurant. And they are doing socially distancing beautifully.
Yeah, the best that I've heard of.
In Louisville, for sure. Okay, that was our plug.
Okay, yeah, there you go. We don't even need your money. Just send us some fish.
I mean, I need some fish and chips. Okay, yeah. I thought you were letting them off the hook of everything.
No.
Okay.
I still want some fish and chips.
Yes.
We sold T-shirts like the ones we wore for our uniforms. You know, I'm going to make you say this because I don't know how to say that. It's their little,
I don't even know.
they're Irish.
Oh, yeah, girl, nobody knows that.
Because it Gaelic.
Kiol Bia is Kriak.
Oh, wow. I wish I hadn't made you do that.
Michael Reedy's the owner. He would just,
Michael Reedy, if we could get you to say that, we will
not
replace
understand
that.
it at all. The thickest Irish accent ever.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes,
okay.
He's awesome.
When someone wanted one, we had to go upstairs to the office to get one out of the box. The door at the bottom of the steps wouldn't stay open and would slam shut. I had heard of the place being haunted well before I worked there. I never pushed the shirts because it was creepy upstairs at night. But when someone really wanted to buy one, I'd see if I could run, grab the shirt, and make it back downstairs before the door shut. Smart.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazingly possible. It's a nice old building, right?
Oh, it's very old. Yeah, you can tell it's got like history. I'm not going to say ghost. I'm going to say it's got a history.
I heard you want to say ghost.
I said history.
All right. The kitchen crew had talked about coming in for their shifts in the morning to find dish towels and other kitchen things strewn about in hard-to-reach places. One Saturday morning, as I worked the brunch shift, a man from out of town asked me how long we'd been hosting guests at the bed and breakfast upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
He had stayed across the street with some family or friends and had come to the corner early to get a newspaper. He said that there was a man with long hair that had appeared in a white gown, which is questionable.
Jesus. That's Jesus.
Oh
no. Maybe it's an Irish Jesus?
I was thinking of in Schitt's Creek when the dad wears the nightgown.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, give my best to Bob Cratchit.
Yes.
Favorite. So I'm just picturing Eugene Levy with long hair is what I'm telling you.
Now that is scary now that I picture it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he said that there was a man with long hair that appeared in a white gown standing at the window. I explained that we didn't have a bed and breakfast and that no one was staying upstairs in the office or private room space.
Jesus definitely was not booked there that weekend.
Oh, now you're telling this poor man there is no Jesus.
No, he's not booked there that weekend.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Free
goodness.
ride, Jesus.
Yeah.
He was adamant that he saw someone looking down at him. I immediately went back to the bar to tell my manager and friend. We planned a seance for the following Friday night. I know.
That's a big leap.
But you're going to be disappointed. I was so bummed. Listen,
okay.
For the following Friday night, after our dinner shifts, and had gotten permission to stay the night upstairs.
The whole night?
Yes, I want to do it.
Cow.
Listen,
Okay.
You don't have to sponsor us. You do have to give us chips and fish and chips, and you have to
upstairs,
let us
overnight. Fish and chips, all we can eat.
Yeah, we could do a podcast recording from there while we spend the night.
I know the owners, Siobhan and Michael. This is a good idea.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm sorry. Here we go. I had never been allowed to play with a Ouija board, but I figured this would be just. Nope, I'm saying that wrong. Nope, she's saying it wrong.
Somebody's saying it wrong.
Let me figure out what I should say. But I figured out this would be just a fun night with friends. There we go. I just had to skip a word in there.
With a Ouija board.
Yeah, Ouija boards scared the crap out of me.
I mean,
I
loved them when I was a little kid.
I used to do a Ouija board all the time with Teresa, one of my best friends. And I swear to this day that it moved, and I trust Teresa. If she swears, shut up. You're shaking your head. It moved like crazy. But then
I also played with the Ouija board, and it moved all the time.
Yeah.
I moved that shit all the time, and I would freak people. It was my favorite thing to do. And then swear.
No.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
No, I trust Teresa. She's listening now. I'm sure she's going to listen. She will back me up. That thing moved like
all right. Well,
crazy.
Write in, Teresa. Maybe I'll read yours and be a skeptic.
I'll never touch one again. I've told my kids, you are not to touch this.
What if they come to Aunt Maggie's house?
I will. You should test them, because if they agree, they're grounded.
Now we're entrapment for your kids.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I thought we were going to wait till they were a little bit older for that.
Oh, no. Ouija board test. Suffice to say, by the time Friday night rolled around, we all lost our nerve and went to the Red Lounge instead.
No.
I know. Jessica, call him back. Tell him you're ready to rethink it.
It's time. It's time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is disappointing. I was ready for it.
I know.
But okay, so is that the end of it?
That's the end of it.
Okay, because I can't really, I ran into somebody, or maybe somebody did put in my inbox, but it wasn't like enough of a story to read. But they were basically saying it, you should ask some Irish Rover servers to write in, because a lot of people have had some really creepy experiences. But they said something about like Siobhan, who is the owner, they were all downstairs and they were having like a shift change, like when you guys like have a small, you're talking to all your servers, and they could clearly hear somebody walking upstairs.
Ooh.
And so that she and the bartender went up to check it out, and there was nobody up there. So my theory on that, though, is that I do know the Rover enough to know that there are 2 entrances upstairs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, did you both go up? I don't know. They have to write in and tell me, because I was still skeptical when I heard that. So if you work at the Irish Rover or a patron of there and have any stories, we would love to hear them. And again, I cannot talk enough wonderful things about that restaurant. It's like home. So definitely go try it out.
Now, if I was going to be the skeptic in this story, I would think it's a squatter. I'm always thinking it's a
squatters.
Squatter.
Oh, they're as real as Sasquatches for sure.
Now, some would argue
probably more real. Okay, probably more real. But for sure,
I think that could answer both the man in the window and the footsteps.
Yes, because squatters,
they're talented at,
and like I've heard that it's like not only are they like just out of necessity, people do it like they get off on it. They love. I know, isn't that gross? But yeah, like just like the thrill of it. Like I'm gonna live up here and see how long I can. Ugh.
Yeah.
I think we have an attic. I'm not sure, but now I'm going to find out for sure.
Oh, we have an attic, but there's no way somebody could live up there. They'd be living like...
I feel like you just challenged a squatter.
No. Oh, the one who gets off on it. Ooh, I would
challenge accept.
So much rather have a squatter
than a
who needs it.
Oh, yes.
Than a squatter who gets off on it.
Oh, yeah. If you need it, I'm like, do you have a pillow? Do you need anything else?
Are you warm
just don't be
there?
gross up there, and you can yeah, I'll sneak you some food. It'll be fine. Don't tell my husband. He probably won't let you stay.
Oh, your husband would totally.
No, he would. He'd invite him to the like lizard funeral, and he'd be a part of the family.
You'd be like, somebody go knock on the attic ceiling. It's time for Bob to come down and eat dinner.
Yeah, it's time for him to come down or breakfast. That's what he would cook him.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, we ready for mine?
We are. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, so I have such a good story that it had to be anonymous, and so when I got it and found out it's anonymous, it made me super excited to read it because I feel like if you don't even want your name attached to this story, it's got to be good.
It's funny that adds credibility for you.
It does. It really does. I'm like, well, then I mean, because if you're one of these people who likes scary stories or to tell spooky stories, or you really like to embellish or whatever, you're like, I got a good one for him. But she's like, it's so good, but I don't want any recognition for it. So I don't know why.
Okay,
it just made me more excited. Okay. No, I mean, you could still write in and we'll still say your name perfectly well as well. Okay. So in the 4th grade, my parents divorced. So we, my mom, older sister, and our family Rottweiler moved from our family home. We moved into a large 2-story brick home in Glasgow, Kentucky, which I feel like is really close to Russellville, Kentucky, which is what we talked about last week. So maybe it's like the Bermuda Triangle of Kentucky.
Ooh.
The house was big and old. It was actually a Civil War hospital. Yeah. So a house that big that it was a hospital?
I think they crammed a lot of people in there, but still, that is haunted for sure. You cannot believe in ghosts and still know that any hospital
it has
haunted.
A lot of history to it that would add to the idea that it might be haunted.
Yeah, if by history you mean ghosts.
Okay.
Okay.
So from the top floor, you could see the Civil War cemetery. Oof.
No.
Yeah, it just puts the vibe. It sets the stage.
I think I just got cold chills.
I know. You're going to get them a lot in this.
Ooh.
It had a 2-story screened-in porch that went all the way around the home. So when the soldiers would start to smell, they would move them outside. Oh, now, here's my question about that. Did the realtor tell them that? Like, how did they know that fact? I feel like that's a fact
you'd hide.
You either made up or you're like, how did you know that? Like, this must be where they, I don't know. Or your realtor, it's like a selling point. Okay. It had trap doors in the floors. The small tunnels, we assume, led to other homes in the neighborhood. We were able to, you assumed I would be down in those tunnels.
Oh, no, I would not.
As a 9-year-old girl?
No.
Oh, I would have been all about that. Let's go get us a flashlight, get us some crackers, because I'm going to be a hungry little girl. We are going to go on an adventure down those tunnels.
No, thank you. You would be leaving your little sister at home.
What if you discovered it did indeed go to your best friend's house?
That would be awesome.
Score.
But I don't think
Goonies, like living your own Goonies.
I don't think I could handle the go-between.
Whatever. Weak. Okay. We were able to rent the home because the lady that was living there was trying to get out of her lease. My mom happily took over the renter agreement. We instantly knew something was off when our family dog refused to come upstairs.
Oh.
She would get to step 1 or 2 before changing her mind and staying downstairs. Within a few days of living there, I woke up in the middle of the night, looked next to me, and there was a head on the pillow next to me.
What?
Now, notice she does not say
a person
attached
to the head.
A head, right?
Oh, I hate it.
It was a scary gray man's head. Of course, it was quickly explained away as a dream.
Oh,
which is what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna never sleep
That's
again.
So scary. That's terrifying. You must have watched a really scary movie and then went to bed and dreamt that.
Or be hanging out with that realtor.
Yeah, right. The realtor's like, I got a movie recommendation. Okay, but I stopped sleeping alone. Oh, that poor mother.
I wouldn't. That's my kids right now. They're like, I'm scared. I'm like, get in your bed.
It's a nightmare. Make friends with a scary man.
Find me some lavender oil. I'm knocking you out.
You're probably totally doing that.
I did totally do that. I'm currently doing it. It's amazing.
Then we would all be on the couch watching TV, and the sound of people walking up the stairs would start. Loud, heavy footsteps. By now, enough little things were happening. we told I guess like extended family, what was going on.
Yeah.
My granny came over. I love she calls her granny. My granny came over to have tea with my mom in the kitchen. Of course, my granny didn't believe until the was thrown in. While they were drinking tea, our TV in the living room started turning on and off, on and off, on and off. My mom said, "Okay, that's enough. Stop." As only a mom could.
Yeah.
Even a mom,
Right.
even a mom could just tell a spirit, "That's enough. I've had it. Stop it." And it went off and stayed off. That's when my granny became a believer too.
Oh.
Granny didn't take much to make her a believer.
Ah.
I would have been like, that's a frayed wire and a coincidence.
And
Just
here are the straws, and this is me grasping.
Yeah,
okay.
No, I don't know about that. Strange things would happen almost every day. One day, my sister and I were home alone. She was making some pasta on the stove, and she turned to grab the sauce from a cabinet. Before she could get the sauce, it flew out of the cabinet and into the sink. I love 80s parenting. Like, I don't know how they are, but I just love the fact that this young child's like, I'll make spaghetti on the stove. Okay. I'm thinking the spaghetti jar fell off. You know, you're reaching for it. You're tiny. She's probably using a little spatula trying to get it off there.
I don't think that would cause her any confusion. She would get that.
Maybe. Or maybe you're like, I don't want to get in trouble, so it was a ghost.
Okay.
Whatever.
Sure.
Life only got crazier. China cabinets would shake. Earthquake. Like a train was coming through. We're on a fault line.
Okay. I've felt one earthquake my entire life, but okay.
I haven't. So that's crazy. Where was I? What state was I?
I was in Owensboro. I lived in Owensboro at the time.
Eventually, it wasn't as scary. It was just our new normal. I went back to sleeping in my own room, which... I mean, again,
it's like Megan and the heaviness.
Right. I'm like, that becomes your new normal. Okay. Because I'm like, I feel like I would get some electricians in there. I'd be like, let's figure this out. Okay. Then one night I was asleep and I woke up to a girl in my doorway. Her back was to me. She had long brown hair. Her hair was a mess.
Oh, was it one
Nora.
Of us?
It was your daughter, Nora. Oh, poor Nora. I'm just kidding. Okay. It was disheveled at the ends. She was wearing a white dress. I sat up in bed and looked at her for a long time. She started to disappear from her feet up. Nothing about her scared me.
What?
I know.
Right? Nothing about little kids, as we determined last week.
I know. Again, I'm like, that must have been because she was real. I don't know. Like, but then again, still not supposed to be there. So scary. I guess it just didn't give her that vibe. Like maybe she was friendly. I don't know. A few months later, I had another nighttime visitor. This was a boy about my age. He was kneeling beside my bed. He was looking forward. I could see the side of his face. He was wearing a red jacket and looked like a white collar around his neck. I'm trying to picture it. Okay, I looked forward in the direction he was looking, but didn't see anything. When I looked back at him, he was gone. So around this time, my mom was walking our dog, and a woman pulled up next to her in the street. It was the woman who lived there before us. When my mom talked to her, so that was a nice coincidence, right? Mm-hmm. When my mom talked to her, the woman started to cry. She apologized for not telling us, but she had to get out of the house. Oh. And we were the only way out. She said her oldest daughter played with a Ouija board.
Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it, people.
Or do it with me and it'll be fine.
No, don't. Okay. Don't do it with Megan because then you can't trust anything.
And the home was never the same. She asked if we had met the boy and girl. My mother told her that I had. She said they are nice and for the most part mean no harm. She said,
I need to know what that means. For the most part, what's for the all part?
Except for they hate when anybody makes spaghetti around them.
Oh my gosh.
Then shit gets real.
They get real violent around spaghetti.
They do not like spaghetti. She said the boy followed her daughter around, and when they moved, he begged her not to go. That's so sad.
Oh gosh.
So after that, we felt we weren't crazy anymore. We stopped telling people about it because no one would believe us. We are Episcopalians and asked our priest to come bless the home. We did tell him about the strange things we had experienced. But he didn't really believe us either.
Oh, rude.
Yeah, did he come?
No, I think he came, but he was like, okay, sure.
So he did like
here's some holy water
blessing. He's like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm not even a believer, but I would give it my all. I'd really try to bless that place really good.
Yeah, that's kind of in your job description, buddy.
Right. Come on, get with it. The day he blessed the home, he started in the dirt basement and worked his way up into my room. That's when a huge thunderstorm blew through. This is like straight out of The
Exorcist.
A poltergeist.
Amityville Horror. Yeah, any scary movie.
Right.
Oh, I don't
That's
like
when
it.
A huge thunderstorm blew through. Suddenly, it went from a sunny to black sky. The home was so old, we had to prop the windows up with sticks. The storm blew all the sticks from the windows, and they all slammed shut.
Oh my gosh, like at the same time?
Like I ain't gonna leave this house.
Oh, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm. After the blessing, we didn't have any more experiences. I still felt
after the blessing, so it worked.
So he must have believed. He must have given him some sort of like,
or his holy water was really holy water, and whether he believed it or not,
it just worked.
Goodbye.
That's your thing, and you believe it. After the blessing, we didn't have any more experiences. Wow. I still felt uneasy when I walked through certain rooms, but nothing moved anymore. I didn't see anyone anymore. It calmed down and made the rest of the time there livable. And then she goes on to say, please don't use my real name if you decide to use my story, which, we're going to decide to use your story.
No, really, at this point, even if your story hadn't been good, we would have used it. But that was really good.
Right. We're just up and running. But this was so good. I don't tell people because they don't believe me. I didn't believe until I lived in that house. And then I'm like, oh, man, now how am I going to sit here and say I don't believe it? When I'm like, well, still tell your story, even if people don't believe it. Because I still think that there is, just because I don't believe it does not mean that it's not real. It's just not real for me.
Yeah, I would clearly 100% agree that just because you don't believe it, it is real.
I mean, I'm just saying that I have never had the experience myself. Although it might be because if I saw a Civil War hospital, I might not move in.
Oh my gosh.
I might be like, you know what? I'm not going to go there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that was really scary.
I feel like it is good luck that we've had such good stories.
Yes.
Right out of the gate.
I do too. And I've already mentioned that we've got a story for next week. I've already gotten one story that I've read.
Uh-huh.
And it was really interesting.
Well, now I feel like we should turn it into kind of a competition. If you're my friend, hurry up and send them in because she's starting to catch up with me.
Well, we're hoping I've only gotten one. We're hoping
I've gotten 4. Hold on, let's go on to
let's not make this a competition.
Okay, let's not make it.
But this is very exciting news. The other story we got is from a complete stranger.
Ooh.
Which means that
neither of our friends, strangers, are winning, not us.
No, I'm gonna claim them. They count as fine.
All right, fine.
So she sent it in. I have not read it yet, but the title of it or the subject line is
this is a teaser.
It's Creepy AF Michigan Farmhouse.
Mm.
None of our stories have been out of state yet. We've all been Kentucky stories.
We're branching out.
And I haven't read it yet. Because I'm thinking you might be the one who reads it.
So we'll see if it's creepy AF.
So excited.
I'm already skeptic of just the title. I'm kidding. I'm sure it is creepy. I cannot wait to hear it.
I'm so excited.
If you haven't caught on yet, we are geeking out at the fact that we have a podcast. 99
listeners.
Oh, I wasn't even going to brag about that. Well, let's go ahead and brag about that. We got 99 listeners, y'all, but a bitch ain't one.
Well, a bitch might be one because I definitely listened.
Oh, that's true. I did too.
Maybe more than once, just like it.
I mean, how cool is that? We're like a week in. We're just super excited. It's like it is beyond like exciting to just and probably very geeky. I'm sure there's a lot of podcast people out there that are like, I don't even pay attention to how many whatever.
Oh,
the moment you reach that point, stop doing your podcast because you're just too cool for school and nobody has time for that. No, we are so excited. This has been so much fun already. We can't wait to just keep it up.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. So if you have a story and you want to share it with us, please email us at myskepticalsister@gmail.com. We are also on Instagram at My Skeptical Sister. Turns out that name was not out there. So we are just really picking up all those names.
Clickbait.
I'm not good at Twitter, so we don't have that yet. I guess we could, oh, your dog. I guess we could get Twitter.
Who has got time to tweet other than Trump? Oh,
I have to Twitter.
I feel like nobody will. I mean, maybe
you ruined it.
Oh, that.
I'm okay with that.
I don't. Whenever I think Twitter, I think Trump. And no, thank you.
I have to twit. No.
Is that what it's called?
Tweet.
Trump's just a twitting away.
Oh, look at Trump twitting over there.
Twit, that's for sure.
That's true. Maybe it should be twit.
Wait, it didn't take long for all that to leak out. We said it might leak out in episode 1. Episode 2, we're like, let's talk about. No, I'm kidding. Let's not talk about it because soon it will be over. Thank
goodness, January 20th.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to tweet for school, and I don't love it. I'm just not.
I don't really get it. But again, I don't get clickbaiting. I don't get DMs. So maybe it's just.
Maybe we're just old.
Someday when our podcast gets like 200 listeners, we will hire somebody really cool and they can tweet.
When we get 200 listeners, we're going to start hiring people?
I think so. Is that how? What's the number?
I mean, I think it needs to be a little more than 200.
Oh, okay. 200,000.
Okay.
Okay. That's where we're headed.
Who would we hire? They would be like, I don't want to hang out with you.
200,000 people listen to us. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. I can't imagine how much we have to pay somebody to sit here and just try to edit
tell them
us.
We'll give them all of our royalties. I don't know what that
even the fish and chips?
Oh, no. I do want those. I do want those. And if you've never had them, go have them.
Yeah, you'll understand why. They're delicious. Okay, so you know where to contact us. We are so excited that you're listening, and we can't wait to record again. Bye, guys.
See ya.